Everybody, and welcome to another review for Series 11 of Doctor Who, the new episode Kerblam. And I got a little co-host today, my talking Peter Capaldi.
Stay calm. Just one question. Do you happen to know how to fly this thing?
No, I don't know how to fly this thing, but Kerblam. No, I'm still really not digging Series 11. Now, this episode probably was nowhere near as bad, in my opinion, as Arachnids in the UK or Rosa or the Saranga Conundrum, but it's missing something. There's just something just is not working, and I'm pretty sure that I've come to the conclusion that it's Jodie. And as I've said in other videos, I'm not calling her the Doctor because she doesn't feel like the Doctor. And I think the biggest case in point that goes to me thinking that way is that there were two separate occasions in the episode where she tried to take command or take charge, especially when she was dealing with the lady in human resources, and I think Slate was the name of the general manager, and she was all accusatory and wagging that finger, and it turned out like, no, we're trying to find out what's wrong, and we're trying to find the workers. And it just, it was just kind of, it never really does good in the series when the Doctor goes a certain way with logic and gets egg on his face, or now her face, and it's just like it was a big swing and a miss. And Jodie just has still not had that moment for me where it's, yes, this is the Doctor. It has not happened. It's 7 episodes in, and it's not happening. Now, Kerblam, the whole thing about it being Space Amazon or Space Walmart, it did have a kind of Doctor Who-y feel for really the first time all season. And I did like the Fez callback to Matt, and I did like the Unicorn and the Wasp callback, because that's one of my favorite David Tennant episodes, and it's a romp. And I like rompy episodes like The Crimson Horror. I know that's not a favorite of a lot of people. Or The Caretaker, or, well, I don't think Boomtown's a romp. But I mean, I like the rompier episodes where it's, it's kind of lighthearted, and it's fun, and it's sci-fi, and it's it's an hour of television that, it's escapism. And I think that's really where they were going with this. Now, there was a kind of a not as heavy-handed anti-capitalist thing with the whole robot workforce and the 10% thing, and it didn't really bother me because it wasn't beating me over the head like we have with Rosa or Arachnids in the UK with the anti-Trump thing. But it just, there's still enough of it there to where even when you get an episode that wasn't written by Chibnall, thank God, I think it was Pete McTee is who wrote this episode, then we finally do get an episode that feels like Doctor Who, and it's still just something is off. And to me, what's off is it's Jodie. He's got new kidneys. He doesn't like the color. And the big sweeping gestures with the sonic screwdriver were back this week, and no, that doesn't work. And why couldn't Bradley Walsh have been the Doctor? I really think we missed an opportunity here. He could have been a kindly old grandfather kind of Doctor. Another thing, Yaz is supposed to be a cop, right? And she had a little bit more to do finally in this episode. But, at the end where she's restraining Charlie, and he's a skinny little white dude, and he got away from her, and she's supposed to be a cop. So it's kind of like, okay, well, you're not very good at restraining suspects. Yeah, I've kind of come to the conclusion that this is going to be the first series of New Who that I'm not going to own on DVD or Blu-ray, because I'm not dying to watch any of these episodes again. The supporting cast was all right. Lee Mack, there was a build up about, ooh, Lee Mack's going to be in this episode. I don't know who the hell Lee Mack is, and he was only in there for just a little bit, and then he was dead. And the robots, or the Kerblam men, I liked their aspect. They were kind of creepy looking with the big glowy eyes, and thinking we were going to kind of maybe go the robots of death kind of robots, the Vox class robots. Call back to the Tom Baker, which is my favorite Tom Baker episode. or maybe the Smilers from The Beast Below, or the Heavenly Hosts from Voyage of the Damned, which is my favorite Christmas special. But we really didn't kind of go there, and we never really saw him do anything. I mean, we didn't even see him really kill the Lee Mack character. And you know, I'm going to get to this in a second. Exploding bubble wrap. I'll give it some points for some creativity, but it's kind of silly. And I mean, I'm not being as harsh on it as I was the creature from the Saranga conundrum, because that was just awful. But the exploding bubble wrap is kind of, well, it's better than the killer rags from the Ghost Monument. I don't hate this episode. I just don't really like it. Is kind of middle of the road. The weaknesses is still the Doctor and the companions, with the exception of Graham. Oh, and another point. What in the hell? Ryan's dyspraxia kind of comes and goes. It's like, you know, any. It's like one week he's got it, and they make a big deal about it, and then the next week it's never brought up, it's never mentioned, and it's just kind of okay. It's like a plot device. Like anytime we just need to say, "Hey, Ryan's got dyspraxia and he's clumsy and can't run or has no coordination," then we'll remember to do it. But then in other episodes, it's just kind of not even mentioned, and it's just okay. But it still comes down to the fact that Jodie doesn't feel like the Doctor, and I'm gonna mess with my Capaldi doll's hair here because
Stay calm.
stay calm. I've stayed calm. I stayed calm till Rosa and Arachnids in the UK. And I want to thank everybody that's still watching the rant video on that, because that's been my most successful video ever. So thank you. Kerblam, it felt the most Doctor Who episode of the season, but it still doesn't feel like Doctor Who, if that makes any sense. I'm ready for this experiment to be over. I think Chibnall's the worst showrunner we've had in New Who. Maybe going all the way back to John Nathan Turner, I think he's the worst showrunner. And Jodie still doesn't feel like the Doctor to me. And with the exception of the speech to Tim Shaw, all the way back in Woman That Fell to Earth, she has not had a standout Who moment that says, yes, to me, she's the Doctor. And to say this was the best episode of the series, yeah, it kind of was, outside of The Woman That Fell to Earth, but it still wasn't that great. There was a capital or anti-capitalist, wasn't quite beating you over the head, but this could have been, with a better writer and a better Doctor, this could have been a really cute episode. But instead, I'm still feeling, like I said, there's always something each week with Jodie that it's either the defeatism or the Eeyoreism about, oh, you can't do that, or this week she was wagging her finger and it was like, we're not the evil ones, do your homework, chick. And it's not working. It is not working for me. And as you can see, I spend almost on this stuff as I do my Star Wars stuff. And see, yeah, Star Wars, and it hasn't been a good year for Star Wars either. But anyway, sorry this video was late. But yeah, I just watched it last night, and just like the rest of the season, I'm in no hurry to go back and watch it again. So anyway, I hope everybody has a happy Thanksgiving, and thanks to everybody that wished me well while I was in the hospital last week. And I'm going to give Kerblam a 4. 4. Capaldi gives it a 4 too. So yeah, I'm out. Happy holidays, everybody, and keep on keeping on. May the force be with you.